let's make sure everything good. Yep, everything's good. Awesome. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. I want to do something real quick. Hang on. I'm gonna put a filter on this. I'm gonna up the gain. Yep. I'm gonna turn this up to like 10. Because I don't think you guys are able to hear me all that well, and I'd like you guys to be able to actually, hear me. I feel like that's the very least I could do. So there's some gain on the volume. You guys should be able to hear me just fine. So let's discuss what I think is going to happen in the market today, shall we? Shall we? I went back 3 days. This is Friday stuff. This is Thursday. This is Wednesday. And we've set up Friday stuff fairly well. We have point control here, point control here, point control here. And obviously, we are in a downtrend. We've been in a downtrend for a minute. Scary part is from here to here, we had a well-defined imbalance. We had a huge move, and it created a low-volume node zone of sorts, okay? The scary part, aside from this low-volume zone, is the fact that these two are also very close to each other. And price has essentially failed and gone up above this point of control. What direction should I be trading in right now? It looks like up, but scary bit. And this was discussed a little while ago when I'm gonna say I first discovered it. I've known about it for a little bit. Consolidation patterns are the scariest patterns to trade within, and it's recommended not to trade within them because they could easily hunt you down and stop you out. They could hunt down your stops, and they will trigger them, and then you will literally be out of the trade. So determining where we need to go from here is a little tricky. Because we could easily say, okay, we're not going to trade it to whole 9 yards, but we need to see it for ourselves. We have to see if we can even take a trade today. Before we get too carried away, I need to see what news says. So let's go check out news real quick. Nothing for Friday. By the way, happy Friday. Friday, nada. Let's go ahead and back out here. Our goal should be looking for the previous point control from where point control is now. Wait for a price move away from current, pull back, trade in that direction. But they are fairly close. They are fairly close. There's a small pardon me, it is early. There's a small divot here that price could adventure in and potentially fill, pushing volume high, at which point we could be targeting the next available point of control, which is right above PR. Okay. But then again, there's also a volume node here that price could stop at and then return down low. Very scary gist. Very iffy. Because price could just as easily fill this up and then continue lower based on this trend from before. I get this is technically not price discovery. This is more like price acceptance. We're consolidating into a very straight pattern. It's not really going down. It's not really going up. But the likelihood of this filling and then it going higher, hitting this, because we'll have had a pull away, a retrace to, that could be an entry zone, put our stop loss above here and watch it fall lower than this or right at this low here. And that could very well be a trade option. Apart from that, because we're on the flip side, we're opposite of this potentially getting hit. Our goal needs to be looking for I'm gonna go ahead and guess the inverse. To inverse trade this specifically because we're looking at a point control that pretty much has not been retested, or actually, I'm sorry, it has been retested. We did that same thing the other day where we saw price retest this, and then we entered in on a short, and then we thought it would continue way lower, but it didn't. So it coming up, dancing around, it going lower, okay, cool. But it's been dancing around this for a minute, so based on volume, price should come back up and test this again. It should come up and test this again. Should test the range, actually. I'm tempted to go ahead and throw a box over this range specifically. Let's go ahead and just throw a box over the high area. That is quite literally all of this. Okay. Once price has got enough of testing this area here, we should see it continue to fall. And that's just based on this pullback, that's based on previous trend, and that's based on the fact that if price does come back up after failing this point control here, we'll see it come up, test and continue. Our entry will be on the closure of the candle that goes back down below this, and we'll see it continue to fall. Our stop loss will be above these highs right here, and we'll see it just continue to fall, but we won't have a well and defined target because this is where price, let's actually go ahead and do this. This is currently where price has hit the lowest in recent time. Let's go to the hour. Could come down here. That's the potential low for it to hit. It could go right there. Looking for one more. Hello. Okay. So right about there then. Right about there. We reset chart view. Scooch it on over. Boom. Take a look here. We have our three potentials. Let's take a look at the 5 minutes and square up this. 950, 1010. Price has been in retrace for a minute now, but it has not hit the zone yet on the high time frame. That's kind of what I want to see happen. Looking at London session's point of control, it's just below the point control for this. Actually, go ahead and do that real quick. need to wait for a pull away from the point of control. I would come back to retest and then continuance. Just waiting for a retrace is all. We have our move away from the point of control, which is good. That's what the opening just did for us. We want to see it come back up. We want to see it touch this range-ish. Let's go and actually encompass this real quick. Because this is a fairly large range. We want to take like the top 3-ish, top 4-ish candles. You just want to put a box over them, like so. Okay. Boom. Funny how that almost perfectly encompasses this right here, this whole candle. I know it's a fast play, but this candle alone moving up and into this kind of gives me hope that that was the retrace we were looking for. It rejecting and closing this range means we can go ahead and enter on a low. We're already in a low volume node, and it moving away, coming back up, retesting this, and then failing just after makes me believe it'll continue lower. Based on the volume profile above, The likelihood of it continuing higher is slim, but, and not gonna lie, it's still a little scary because consolidation patterns kind of mess with you. There's no real way of saying yes, it'll go up or down just based on volume profile, so got to be careful. Man, I put some work in the video. I'm happy with it though. It's like, there's some stuff I can do though. Up to that volume node, we have 2 minutes for that to close. I'm gonna wait. I am 100% going to wait. Because that doji shows indecisiveness. It being a low volume node suggests that it could continue lower, but it can't make up its mind because the points of control are both high. All 3 points of control from previous are all high compared to where it is now. But being in a low volume node allows for quick movement after the fact. So it closing after moving up and then failing gives us room to go ahead and say, yes, price is going to continue lower based on trend and volume profile. All right. So let's go ahead and enter on a short. We're kind of mid-move, so it's a little sketchy, just a wee bit sketchy. My stop loss is going to be just on the other side of this. We want to put this to the highs. Boom. This would actually be great on the other side of this range right here. That's a perfect spot for it. And then from this, I kind of want to see our final take profit go all the way down here. I know that's a stretch. I think this is a good risk to reward ratio though. So let's take a look at what this looks like. Short wise, I know that's a long. This is the short. We want this. This to go up here. Boom. And then this to go down here. That's a 1 to 4. That's also a very happy risk to reward ratio. If we took this and went further, it's more like that's a little 1 to 5, 1 to 4, 1 to 3-ish. So all 3 of these are a good margin between each other, but this gap is what's a little funky because it would need to dip pretty far below all this. And the likelihood of it doing that is kind of slim considering all the points of control are up high. Assuming we're breaking out of this consolidation-ish, which, I mean, the fair value gap is proof of breakout. I would like to see price continue low based on that. We've been mostly in the ups. SMA is finally crossed below that. Price is in agreement. We have a strong resistance level here. There is some volume here to help it potentially move higher, but the likelihood of it doing that based on this volume specifically is kind of low. It's already come back up and retested this as well as this point of control, so I do think it'll continue low based on the trade we've entered on. I want to move this lower for a better potential grab at this point, risk to reward ratio here, because a 1 to 5 just sounds better. But the likelihood of it going that low is a little bit. It's not as likely. So I'm tempted to do this. I want to split the difference. This sounds good. This sounds best, but realistically, this right here is the highest potential if it does decide to continue lower. And we'll do this. Boom. Boom. Right now it's a losing trade. And I kind of figured this might happen. Kind of figured it would. I want to wait and see exactly what happens. Being in retrace isn't the problem. Being too close to the stop loss is. I'm inclined to move it here, just above the highs, because we don't want to get stopped out. We want it fairly removed from the problem, so it has room to breathe. It can do what it needs to, and then it can continue lower. And that still gives me a 1 to 3.4 risk to reward ratio if I'm targeting this right here. I think that's more like a 2.5. No, right at 3-ish risk to reward ratio, which isn't bad. It's not bad at all. So we shall see. We shall see. I'm very inclined to see. Let's see if 30 still says we're in the down. Hour says we're in a down. There's nothing really preventing us from going high. Man, does that sounds bad considering I've now entered it into a short. I could just as easily say this right here is actually a support level. Dang. Recent case is this. So I may have made a mistake. However, the trend is still down. Price action, volume profile are at adversity right now because the trend says down. On the high time frame specifically, we've made a high but it's not higher than this high, and there's a huge margin between the two. So in order for it to continue high, it would need to meet a point of support, and then for it to continue higher, it just needs to do that. Trend says it'll continue low. 30 minutes in disagreement with the hour, but I'm more inclined to go with the hour. The 5 minute, I get, is just a more chopped up version of the 30, but in comparison with the hour, it's similar, very, very similar. So I'm inclined to think it'll follow through with the hours setup and continue lower. It's tested the opposite of the range we thought it would stop at, which is fine. Man, that whole candle went all over that range. Oh, there's an update going on with my drivers on my GPU, my desktop. I was like, wait, why did the screen just shut off? I'm actually curious. Let's see if that looks about right. Oh yeah, that does look about right. Okay. So I was concerned for a little bit that that was the case. That price was in fact just going to go higher. But it retesting that range actually proves my theory to be correct. It literally just did that. It wanted the whole range retested to make sure, and now it's continuing to fall, which is good. This is what we want to happen. All right. it being a low volume node is suggesting that it is going to continue lower from where it is. It's just got to close, and the next candle that opens needs to skip below where that where this right here is. We'd have been stopped down right there had I not moved it, which is a good thing. We put our stop right where it stopped, and then gave it room to breathe. I think this trade is a good one. Based on market profile, there wasn't really much else we could go off of. The point control said high, the trend said low. We went based on price action in relation to the most recent volume over time. Price action was below the point of control. We waited for a retest of the range, entered in on a short, and it's currently in the correct. We are in the green this trade. Comparing our observation to the MACD, we could have gotten in sooner, but we didn't, because it would not have made sense otherwise. I think the trade's good. I just need to watch it very, very meticulously. That being said, I'm gonna pause the video. We'll be right back. I want to actually keep it unpaused. I want to wait until it crosses this white line here, because I have a strong feeling, very, 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 very suspicious feeling, that it might cross below this, and we could see it slingshot back up. But at the same time, if it crosses below this while in the breakout that it's in, we could see it continue just further on and then hit our final take profit. So I want to see it close below this before I pause it completely. So you'll see me back and forth here for a second. I'll glance over. If it's doing exactly what I want it to do, I'll pause the video, wait, and unpause when we're good to go. But otherwise, I got a video that's going up on the gaming channel here soon, so stay tuned for that. If you're interested in checking out Stream later today, it'll be up around 4 p.m. I intend to stream from 4 p.m. all the way to 10 p.m. today, so be sure to stay tuned for that. It'll be No Man's Sky again. I really, really am enjoying that game very much, and I think you've been enjoying it too. I've been getting a lot of engagement from it, and I kind of hope it continues. I really, really do hope it continues. If you like the video, consider liking, consider subscribing, because subscribing's what tells me you want more. Liking the video says you really found something part of this enjoyable, and it tells me what I need to do to get you to like the video more. Seriously though, if you enjoyed the video, consider giving a like. Comment below what your favorite part was, and even if you don't want to comment, that's completely fine too. Just like the video when you find something you thoroughly enjoy, and you'll be on your way to having more of it. I work on videos every single day I'm awake, at my every waking hour almost. Apart from that, it's been day trading, and I think it's going quite well. I've learned a lot. Again, I've lost a lot, but I'm also learning a lot. And the videos are coming along swimmingly. I think you guys like it, otherwise you wouldn't be watching. So, thank you for that. Thank you for watching. We have 20 seconds for this candle to close. I want to see it close below. We do not want it to close above. That's going to be the scary part, is if it chooses to close above. Close above, yikes. And again, it could just continue. So it closed below. That's good. Room for retraces to be expected. We have big candle on down, and we want to see it continue on down. The likelihood that it's just going to go up, very slim. I think we're in the good. I think we're gold. I think we're all right. I'll go ahead and pause this video. If you enjoyed it, consider doing all what I just said. And I'll see you guys in the next one. BRB. I'll unpause when we are finished with trade. Okay, so we have closed the trade on purpose. Why? We're in a high volume node situation. I observed market for a little while now. I've been watching it very meticulously. I watched it come all the way up here, all the way down here. We could have gotten a better trade up here when this was forming at our stop loss, but I was too ready. I was too good to go. Because I had already saw this retest this exact range, and I thought, you know what, it's going to continue lower. I now know what to wait for, just a little bit longer. I know to wait to get that little bit extra that I missed out with this entire move up. We left because there's a high volume node here preventing price going lower. It's already rejected it several times. You can see here, here, and here. The likelihood of price continuing lower is there. It's likely, but it's not guaranteed. And I want to make sure that I end today on a good one. I don't want to lose. I am perfectly capable with cutting my loss right where it is, because ultimately the point of control is high. It's still high. It's stayed high. So I'm inclined to think it'll continue high, like the point of control is a magnet. Because on the 5 minute, it was roughly consolidating, and then we see this little breakout here. And on the hour, It's just another candle down. It's another stretch down. And we could have held on to it all the way down to this, but the likelihood of this making that leap was slim. So I figured, okay, let's cut the loss. Let's cut the hope out. Take it for what it is. We were in a low volume node. We are in a low volume node when it comes to the high time frame stuff, but on the low time frame, it's showing mixed signals. It doesn't know what it wants to do. And the likelihood of it retracing is greater than that of it continuing lower beforehand. And the likelihood of it retracing so much that it stops us out is also very likely. So I'm going to cut my loss. I'm going to cut the hope out completely. I'm going to use the flip side of it completely. Okay? We left trade today on a good note, and I'm happy that we made a profit. Just a little bit of a profit. It was an okay profit. It wasn't like we lost anything like we've been doing, like I've been doing. So, that being said, if you enjoyed today's video, you know what to do. Today's was win. I got a video uploading now. It'll be out at 4 p.m. And I'll be starting stream at 4 p.m. and we'll be going all the way to 10 p.m. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, you know what to do. I've already said this like 3 times, but it never hurts to say it a third. Consider liking, subscribing. If you're new on the comeback, comment below what your favorite part was, and I'll see you guys in the next one, Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody. I'll see you around.